Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I want to introduce to you guys a new idea that I've been thinking about, and that is called the garden mentality. So let me just tell you, I was walking home from work and I saw one of those little, those little book things that people have outside in neighborhoods and stuff like that, where you can trade in a book and then put in another book, right? And I saw this, and I know, look, I know it's a kid's book in our garden, right? But as soon as I seen it, my mind was just exploding with ideas. I was thinking about how this could apply to us, right? So I was reading this little children's book because I really believe you can learn from anything. You can learn from movies you watch, you can learn from books you read, you can learn from children and children books. So yeah, these concepts, I love how children's books make concepts in general. They make it so understandable, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I want to introduce to you guys this garden mentality thinking. And this is the way that I want to be thinking moving forward, and I want other people to be thinking too. So basically this is what it is. And guys, this is new, so just let me cook. All right, so the garden mentality. This is the mentality that we are creating our own gardens. We are creating ourselves, that we are building ourselves, and we ourselves are the garden. So, with that being said, let's break it down. As we are continuing to grow as people, we are going to continue to equip ourselves with the right things. So, look, this is how I'm going to break it down. I got my journal right here. This is our notes. So, if you see me looking down, that's why. If you're wanting to plant any type of plant, you're going to want to make sure that you have the right location for your plant. I was looking on Google and I was like, okay, so what do I need to start a garden? The first thing that it said was sustainable planting location. In my mind, the way I think about this, right? We need that sunlight. This is what it was telling us. We need that sunlight. We need that quality soil. We need it to be tested for its pH levels. Make sure that it's good enough for where we want to be. So if you're trying to create a life that is full of joy, that is full of peace, look at your environment. Where are you at? Who are the people that you're surrounding yourself with? You want to make sure that the quality matches the quality of life that you want in your garden, in your life. Like this is applying to us. If you are planning on planting a garden, you're going to need the supplies for it, right? You're going to need all the tools. You're going to need a shovel, you're going to need a rake, you're going to need soil, you're going to need fertilizer. Obviously, guys, it's winter time. There's not a lot of sunlight outside, but you can create that light inside by doing the inner work, by choosing to fill yourself up with things that are going to bring you joy, that's going to light you up, that's going to encourage you, that's going to make you excited and ready to live life. Something for me I like to do, I like to dance around in my room. Yeah, I like to dance around in my room, and that gets my adrenaline up, and that makes me excited. It makes me feel that summer feeling, like that feeling of like there's something to do. Another thing I like to do, roller skating. I like to write. I like to read. So filling your life up with things that you enjoy is going to create that joyful experience for you. And the more you do it, the more joy you'll feel. In our garden, we're also going to need a shovel, right? We need to start digging up them roots. We need to start digging up them roots that are not good and them weeds that aren't good for our garden. I'm looking in our garden and I'm seeing, oh, there's a couple weeds that's making my other plants not able to grow. So we're going to dig it up. We're going to make sure that we are set up for success, that we got this, that it's going to work out. So we start digging up the roots. So that might hurt for a little bit because you're digging up past pains, you're digging up past people, you're digging up all the things that are blocking you from the sunlight. Honestly, it doesn't always feel great. It's going to be experience. It's going to take time, it's going to take patience, and it's going to take work. You're going to have to find a place to garden. You're going to have to dig things up. You're going to have to be using your hands and putting things together. This garden that we're creating is going to create a peaceful environment for us. And of course, there's going to be things in our life that aren't lining up with what we want. We can look around and be like, you know what? I see how this could be. I see how this could play out. I see how this can get better. I see how this can get better. We have to have that vision so that we see like, oh shoot, there is something that we're building here. When we're planting these plants, we have to look at it and we have to watch as it grows and it grows and it grows, and that takes time. It's not going to happen right away. So we can't see as that plant is building its root, it's rooting itself in that garden, in that dirt, in that soil. We can't see it. But then it slowly starts to sprout, and then we get to see the fruits of our labor. Anything that we plant in this season is going to grow. That's anything positive, anything negative, like that's going to grow. It's going to have some kind of outcome. That's with any action that we do in our life. There's going to be an outcome, good or bad. But if we're going to continue to pour into ourselves all this good and water ourselves daily with encouragement, this talk, we find it anywhere we go. We constantly are looking for the light. The light is going to find us. I got to move a little bit. Hold on. Another thing that I loved that this book said was gardens bring people together. So as we're building up our gardens, as we're planting, as we're sowing those seeds, eventually it's going to be a place where we're overflowing, where we're pouring so much because we are getting so much. Like it's going to bring people together, this mindset shift. Your garden is going to be filled with so many fruits and beautiful flowers and things that are going to be able to help the people around you. If you see that someone else is low and they are hungry, you're going to be able to supply that because you are overpouring. And it's not going to be a thing where you're feeling like you're being taken advantage of. It's going to be a thing where you feel like you can give because you have been given so much from the seeds that you have sown. So in this season, I want us to walk around with this mentality that we are gardens and that we are planting something big. Like we might be planting a tree. Shoot, I might be planting a tree. We're sowing those seeds now, and then in these next seasons coming up, things are going to just continue to grow and get better, and we're going to thrive because this is the mentality we have. This garden mentality can be applied to anything. It could be applied to our bodies, the things that we feed ourselves. Are we drinking enough water? Are we exercising? What are we doing? What are we doing? It can be applied to our mind. What are we filling our mind with? Are we filling our mind with negative talks and with gossip and people that aren't really going to do anything for us? Trash? Or are we filling our minds with things that are going to grow, and then our minds are just going to continue to expand? Like, we got to really be thinking about this. Most of the time, I read things that I know is going to expand me, that I know that I can learn from. And I watch things on TV that inspire me. You can choose what you watch. You can choose what you see. Even on TikTok and Instagram, that algorithm is the things that you are actually messing with. Whatever you are watching and you're like, yeah, I like this, or if you watch it for a long time, then the algorithm is going to say, okay, they like this, so I'm going to keep on showing them that content. So even on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you can kind of control what you see. And then the next thing that this applies to is our spirit. Are we feeding our spirits? Are we feeding our spirit? And it's kind of the same, I guess it can go along with mind, but are we feeding our spirit with trash? Or are we giving ourselves something good that's going to make us flourish? I really believe that if we approach life with this mentality that we are just trying to make things grow, we're just trying to expand this world and the people around us, I think that we could have a more positive outlook on life. Another thing that I was looking at when I was researching about gardens was the fact that it was saying that you have to make sure that you have good drainage. To me, that represents release. It represents our system of, when things happen to us, are we releasing that instantly, or is it just being held in and was just bubbling up? I believe that that drainage mentality is like, all right, when I am experiencing different emotions and I'm feeling like, man, I feel hurt by something, I can choose to release that and create something good with it. If I'm feeling like someone hurt me so bad and I don't know if I can even talk to them about it, my butt is going to write something and twist it into something good or create something artistic. I don't know. Do something with it. Release it. Let it go. Because these things happen. People are going to come and go. People are going to hurt you. People are going to betray you. People are going to let you down. We have to be firm enough to say, you know what, this is something that I'm going to release. And we have to face it head on. We have to face those emotions, face the things that hurt us, face the people. And that doesn't mean just being like face to face with them and being like, oh, this is what you did. No, we're going home and we're releasing that and we're figuring it out and we're healing from it. And every season, no matter what it looks like outside, we are creating this garden. The last part of this garden mentality is the fertilizer. So what I was researching, fertilizer basically makes sure that you can maintain the soil's health. So once you adapt this garden mentality, once you decide, you know what, I'm going to continue to fuel myself, I'm going to continue to pour into myself, I'm going to continue to water myself and make sure that these seeds that I'm planting are growing. I want to also make sure that I can maintain that with rest. That's with taking time to recover, taking time to heal, taking time to release, making sure that we can maintain this. When we see things around us falling apart, are we going to continue to have that mindset? That's why this is a long-term thing. That's why it's a patient thing. We might not see the results right away. It's going to take time to uproot all of the things that are not for us. It's going to take time for us to heal. It's going to take time for us to actually see ourselves in a new light and to see that we are actually flowers growing or trees growing. Whatever you want in your garden, you can have it. You can create it. That's that mentality. We are creating our lives and we're setting the stone, we're setting the footprints, and we're here. So might as well do something good with it. I almost want to read you guys this book, I'm not gonna lie, because I know it's a kid's book. Like I know it is. I know it is, but there's so much wisdom in it. Like I just let me just flip to a random page and see if I can get something. Hold on. All right, so it says, I look down, same sidewalk, same street. I look up, same cloud, same sky, but everything's different. Everything's better. And this is after she's already like got the people rallied up and started creating the garden. This is what the garden looks like. So before the rooftop was empty, there was nothing there. She wanted something to brighten up everybody's life. And so now she's looking at the rooftop and she's like, wow, look at all this work that we put in. We're going to be able to see the results of the work that we put in. And that's exciting. We're going to be able to look around us and be like, wow, like I'm in the same place physically, but spiritually and mentally, I'm somewhere completely different. Everything looks different because I have a new lens. I have a different view of the world and the people around me. Like that's something exciting and that's an outcome, y'all. So my camera died, but in that time in between, I was thinking a little bit more about what we were talking about. And I was thinking about how sometimes, like, let's say you're planting a small little plant and you're putting it on the side of your window. Sometimes those plants outgrow their pot. And what do you do with those plants? You uproot that plant, you dig it up, and you put it in another pot. You put it in a bigger pot that's more sustainable for it because it's grown. So once you've reached that place where you're like, you know what, I've outgrown these people, I've outgrown these environments, I've outgrown these locations, it's time to uproot. Sometimes you have to uproot yourself and move yourself to a different environment so that you are more sustainable to grow. To be honest, we are heavily influenced by the people around us. And it's the truth. You start taking on the things that they say, taking on their mannerisms, things that they do, and it's very subtle, it's very small. You might not even notice until in the long run you're looking back and you're like, shoot, you know what? That looks a little bit like so and so. That looks a little bit like that place that I was at. That's not even me. So sometimes we're going to need to uproot ourselves and we're going to have to place ourselves somewhere different so that we can really thrive and flourish. And that's okay. It's going to be hard to let go of those old lifestyles, those old habits, those people who we really want to keep in our lives. But to be honest, when we get to that place that we want to be, it's going to feel so good. And you're going to watch as things start to grow and you start to feel more and more like yourself. And it's going to feel good. It's going to feel good. So don't worry too much about that part because I promise you, the crying, the tears, the hurt, all of it is going to feel worth it in the end when you're looking and you're like, man, my life's completely changed because I decided to look at life different and I decided to start changing the way I behave and changing the way that I do things, because I started having this mentality that I want things in my life to grow. I don't want things in my life to just be a dead field of nothing, a dead field of weeds. I want my garden to look beautiful and flourishing. I want my garden to supply so much fruit that it's like, man, my baskets, like I need to get more baskets because it's so full. Like, that's what I want for us. I want it to be so full. I want us to be abundant and overflowing. We do not lack anything. And even now, when if you're looking around, you're like, man, well, I still need this, I still need that. You do not lack anything. You still are in your body. You still have your mind. You're still here. So you can continue to grow and continue to change the way your life is going. Like, we are in charge. Like, do you understand? Do you understand that we're here? That we're here. That we're here. And that reminds me of this Bible verse. All right. So listen, we're gonna add Jesus into it. All right. So I'm about to 1 second. I'm about to show you this passage really, really quick because this goes kind of along with what we're talking about. So look, the vision of the valley of dry bones. Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. All right, guys. So look, the reason why this stands out to me is because we can look around our life and we could see dead. Like, we can see that everything's dried up and fickle and it's not flourishing. It's not green and bright and everything that we want it to be. But the truth is, everything can be renewed and everything can be restored. God said that He will breathe life into our life, into our vessels, into us. Like, even if you don't believe in God, you can just say, you know what? Like, this is our garden and we can pour right back into it, and we can bring life into it because we still have the same spirit, the same spirit. I'm not gonna lie, in the past months, I've seen a lot of people walking around and not being alive. They're walking, but they're not alive. So much here for us. So many things, so many opportunities just right there, right in front of us. And sometimes we overlook it. Sometimes we're too focused on all the negative and all the things that are going wrong that we don't see the opportunity right in front of us. Like, it's right there, and then we're over here with our heads to the side when it's right over here. It's right there. There's life literally all around us, and things just waiting for us to open up that door. So open up that door and pour into that garden, because I promise you, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you're going to see the fruits of your labor. All that hard work isn't for nothing, and I'm telling you that now. And I mean it. None of the work that you put in is for nothing. Good is going to come out of it, especially if you have good intentions. Of course it is. Like, I just don't see it going any other way. And of course, things might not always look how we think it should look, but when we look around and we're feeling at peace and we're feeling grateful and we're feeling like, you know what, this is everything that I needed plus some, we're going to be like, shoot, this was worth it. This is worth it. Our healing journeys are worth it. Our feelings are worth it. The hard work that we put in, the hours that we go clock into work is worth it. Every single moment, it's like a lesson. Every single moment is a learning curve. Every single moment is like, I can take this and I can use it and I can apply it to my life. That's the mentality I want us to have. That's the garden mentality, that we use everything that we experience, everything that we soak in as an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to heal. When people hurt me, I get so excited because, now that doesn't mean go around hurting me, please. I don't. But when people hurt me, I get so excited because it's really an opportunity for me to realize, okay, so that's where that wound came from. That's what that's triggering. That's my camera's trying to be funny, so we're back on the phone. I was trying to say, when people hurt me, it's an opportunity for me to grow. That's it. Everything around us is an opportunity for us to heal and grow. Everything is going to work for us if we have that right mindset. So let's work on our minds this year, and everything else will follow. So I think that's gonna be it for this video because my camera wants to die. When my camera's charged up, I'm not gonna lie, it might come back because I might have some more ideas on this. But yeah, let's build our gardens. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to thrive because there's something cooking and I just feel it. I just feel it. I feel something different and I'm getting excited. It's that premonition, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm having that good premonition, that feeling of like excitement, that feeling like I don't even know what I'm excited for. I went to my mom and I was like, I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited. I don't know what I'm excited for, but I'm so excited. There's so much to be excited about because the seeds that we're planting are gonna grow, especially because I know that I'm putting this in the right soil. I know that this is the right environment. Like, I know that things are cooking and they're growing, and that's very exciting to me. So yeah, that comparison thing, don't do that because you don't know how many times people have been building themselves behind the scenes, how many times they've been crying by themselves, how many times they were really alone and just kept on going, kept on pushing through. You can do the same thing, so don't compare yourself to nobody else because you can do the same exact thing. So yeah, that's all I think I'm gonna say for this video. I love you guys and I'm excited for what we're gonna do, the next one and 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 the next one. I got something planned for my birthday too, so just wait. I love you guys. Bye.